What is going on, my fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast. And guys, today we're going to be talking about environment. We're going to be talking about surroundings, and we're going to be talking about who you take your advice from.
Yeah.
Now, this conversation is coming because I actually was talking to one of my best friends on the phone yesterday, Natasha, and her and I were talking for an hour, and we were sharing perspectives, and we were giving each other advice on certain situations that are going on in our life. And I told Natasha, I was like, anytime you say something to me, I take it, I absorb it, and I implement it, even if I don't like it. And then I thought about that for a minute, and I'm like, you're actually one of three people that I do that with. Like, I only take advice from three people: Natasha, Cole, and my wife. That's it. And I think that the reason that I have that protective mentality around who I choose to take my advice from is because a lot of other people will be giving me advice based on their own limitations.
Yeah. Based on their own perception of what you should do, even though they don't actually have the experience to do it.
Yeah.
Or the knowledge to do it. Like, obviously, Brian and myself hire mentors, guys, and we listen to them. We understand what they are saying. We honestly pick and choose some of the things that they tell us, and then we implement other stuff due to where we are currently sitting. But I feel like there's a massive disconnect in your guys' understanding of who you should actually be taking advice from. Like, the title of what I made this live stream and the podcast is who are you listening to? And the reason why, who are you listening to? Who are you surrounding yourself with? And the reason why is because a lot of you guys choose to listen to people that you should not be fucking listening to, that you should not be taking advice from. All right. When I want to lose weight or start a business or attack a certain goal, I am only going to listen to people that are already at or above the level that I want to fucking get to. And especially, all right, if I'm connected to them. If it's a stranger who doesn't have the results that I want, I'm not going to fucking pay attention.
Not only a stranger, but I think that the biggest damage to your guys' success is when you're listening to people that are close to you in your circle that have no idea about your industry.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell a personal story. So when I first started online fitness coaching, I was restaurant managing at Jameson's. And don't get me wrong, I love Jameson's. I actually went there to visit one of my old homies there. And I personally didn't resonate with being a manager at Jameson's anymore. I was like, I need to do something different with my life. And so when I started online coaching on the side, my family was kind of like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you've got this cool opportunity. You're making 40 grand a year. Like, you're making decent money. Like, why would you go and start this side hustle? And so when I listened to that advice, I took a look at my family's circumstance, and the people that were giving me advice were still living in the trailer park. They'd worked minimum wage jobs their entire life. And so by their definition, I was successful. Like, I had landed a salary job. I had benefits. You know, I had a certain work schedule. It was like a guaranteed income. So by their definition, I was already successful. So for them to think of, like, my grandma, who was like 65 years old at the time, for her to think about the idea of me starting an online business was crazy, right? Like, it was so out there because she had never started an online business, and like, they didn't even have fucking cell phones when she was younger. And so for her to think about the idea of me making money online was absolutely insane. And so her advice to tell me to stay at Jameson's was based on her limited experience. And if I would have listened to that limited experience, then I wouldn't be able to provide the life that I can for my grandma now.
Yep.
A lot of you, what you do is you'll go to start your online coaching business, and you'll be super excited and you'll be super motivated and you're like ready to get it going. And then one of your friends that has no idea about your industry will be like, oh, the market's saturated. Online coaching, that's not an actual career. Why don't you stick with what you're good at? Get a real job.
This is the funny thing, right? So we're not even going like down the attack those people route, because a lot of you guys will do that, right? Well, Cole and Brian said that we shouldn't listen to you, so fuck you, mom. I'm going to do my thing. That's not even what we're saying, because at the end of the day, a lot of the people in your fucking family, it's not that they don't actually believe in you. It's that they don't believe in the thing that you're about to attack. They don't believe in the path that you're about to take. And the aspect of what Brian just said, like, that was success. That is still to this day painted as success. Go to school, land a fucking job that cost you literally way more than it's going to pay you out due to how much you had to pay for school, and then work a 9 to 5 for the rest of your fucking life. That is what the definition of made it is in the world still. Like, it's just, if you look at the average life, that's what it is. So when people see you trying to take these leaps and bounds into unknown territory, and they try to like hold you back, for lack of a better term, it's not that they're doing it out of spite. It's that they're doing it out of a misunderstanding of what you are doing. I.e., another example, yo, when I met Julia's family and they figured out that I was working online, all right, Julia being my wife, they were like very skeptical, to the degree where like every single time they came over, they'd be asking me questions. Julia'd be working in the office still because when we met, she was in the office, I was in the field. So she was still working in the office, and they're like, who the fuck is this guy that you're dating just sitting at home all day, like doing nothing? He's just sitting on the couch, playing on his computer, because that's what the perception is. And then it slowly started to build. Then they started to see little lifestyle changes that happened. Then they started to see different things that were going on. And then I remember the first time that I told them I was making $10,000 a month when we were all out at our family house. And they're like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? They're like, bullshit. And I had to like explain what was going on. And then they've slowly see the change. But it's not like they didn't believe in me. It was more of a disconnect. All right. They didn't understand it. And this is why we always talk about keeping your goals close to your fucking chest, especially with individuals that are surrounding you right now, because they probably don't understand what the fuck you're about to chase. So when you guys are looking to achieve a goal, you need to be very wary of who you listen to, who you share your fucking goals with. A lot of you guys will go to achieve something. You'll share it with your small-minded group of friends, and then they'll talk you out of it due to how close-minded they are. Does that make sense?
That totally makes sense. I also want to add to this because for those of you that are looking to achieve, whether that's success in fitness, like you want to lose weight, get in shape, do your very best, or success in business, whatever it is, or maybe you're looking to level up your relationships in your personal life. For those of you guys that are looking to achieve success, let's say you're like thinking, you're like, okay, I want to start this business or I want to start my fitness journey. So I want to hire a personal trainer. We'll talk with fitness first. I want to hire a personal trainer. And I found one that I like. And so I'm going to talk to my spouse about this personal trainer. I'm going to make sure that my spouse is on board with me hiring this trainer. Number one, if your spouse is out of shape or overweight, and then your spouse is giving you advice about whether or not to hire a personal trainer, obviously they're going to fucking say no.
Right? Obviously, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
Obviously, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
Yes.
And so I think that so many of you are looking to your social circle for permission to take action towards your own goals because you're afraid of success and you're afraid of failing.
Yes.
And you're afraid of failing. You're afraid of investing in the personal trainer and being fucking lazy. And so it's way easier for you to have a cop out being like, I need to talk to my significant other. And then your significant other says no. And then you can be like, well, it's no, but it's not no because I don't want to. It's no because my significant other. No, it's no because you're too weak to commit to your own goals. I want to say something else.
Yes.
Let's say you want to start your online business, right? You're like, I want to start personal training online. I want to build my career. I want to make my dreams come true. And I'm like really excited about it. But again, I got to talk to my spouse and make sure my spouse is on board. Unless your spouse is a multimillionaire or highly fucking successful or more advanced in the field that you're trying to get into, like more advanced in this specific career path, then your spouse has no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And so for you to ask for permission from your spouse to pursue your own dreams is just a cop-out. It's just you admitting to yourself that you don't have the courage to just make the commitment on your own and then ask for your spouse's support.
100%. Dude, I'm going to take it away from the spouse for a minute, and I'm just going to talk about the larger scale. Who the fuck are you listening to? You see, a lot of you guys will go start to hire mentors. You guys will go start to try to kick your business online. All right, kickstart something. And then you start asking advice from your fucking friends. But again, who are you listening to? If you want to start a fucking 7-figure business, if you want to aspire to be a 7-figure earner online, so you want to hire these mentors and go down this path, and then you get a little bit scared and you start asking your friends and they tell you, that sounds like a lot of money, bro. That sounds too good to be true. That's a very scarce market. Unless they are making that amount of money already, why the fuck are you listening to them? Why the fuck are you choosing to take their advice? Why the fuck are you confiding in them about the goals that you want to achieve? I see this all the time. You guys will go hire a mentor. Let's say the mentor costs $5,000, 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, 100 grand, whatever the fuck it is. And then before you make that financial commitment, you will ask your friends that are working at Walmart. You'll ask your friends that are making 4 figures a month. All right. Maybe low 5 figures a month. You'll ask them for advice when they have no fucking grasp of the potential in this opportunity. So they will give you the advice based off of them being a low-level individual. Now, again, I'm not trying to shit talk your friends or shit talk your family or shit talk your spouse. I'm just telling you the fucking reality. You should not take advice from people that are not where you want to be. And this is the thing. And I know you've heard this before. When we say this, you should not take advice from people that are not where you want to be. There's always that person that's like, that's kind of an ignorant statement. Like, what about the individual who's 75 years old with all this life experience? Well, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. Unless that 75-year-old is a multi-millionaire living in a massive mansion with 9 supercars and is still in shape with a beautiful family and an amazing legacy, I don't give a fuck about the advice from that 75-year-old. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to listen to Bedros, and I'm going to listen to Wes, or I'm going to listen to Gary Vee, or I'm going to listen to Eddie Frisella. I'm going to listen to these other fucking absolute monsters in the industry because they are living the life that I want to live. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get that some people have experience in life and will give you good advice to help you, but I'm not going to take fitness advice from a fat fuck, and I'm not going to take business advice from someone who's homeless. Just like I'm not going to buy a car from someone who rides a bike.
I love that. Listen, all
right?
I love it. Never take advice from somebody that you wouldn't trade places with.
Yes, man.
This is why I don't take advice from my friends that are working salary jobs making 50 to 100K a year, because I don't want to be like that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm only taking advice from people that are making millions of dollars. I'm taking advice from my mentor, Bedros, who has over 800 locations of Fit Body Bootcamp. That's the guy I'm going to take advice from. So many of you are asking your friends or asking your spouse for permission to pursue your own goals, or asking that fucking homie that you knew about that one thing. Unless they're living the life that you want to live, stop asking for their fucking opinion.
Yeah.
I'm only asking up or in my circle from people that are getting the result that I want,
that are elevating on a continual basis right beside you.
Dude, that's it. So it's like, this is the thing. This is how I think. This is my approach to life. And this is what's allowed me to become a multi-millionaire. Number one, I block out the opinions of anybody that doesn't have the results that I want, including negative ass people, whether that be on social media or in real life, or somebody that thinks my Lambo's a rental and my mansion's all fake and they're a bunch of pussies. So I block out their opinions because it literally means fucking nothing to me. Doesn't matter. Go the fuck away. Then number two is anybody that's in my circle, maybe they're in my circle of influence, whether that be like they go to my gym or they're working at my gym, or you know, they might be a client of mine or past client or a family or a friend. If they give me advice on what I should or shouldn't do or how I should or shouldn't operate, I literally run the advice through the filter of, would I trade places with this person?
Yeah, straight up.
And if the answer is no, I don't fucking do it. And then when somebody like Cole, like if Cole's to call me and he was like, listen, man, I got to give you some feedback on XYZ thing. I think you really need to do da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to take that. I'm going to absorb it. I'm going to fucking, even if it fucking sucks, and then I'm going to do it. And I do that same thing with Bedros too. So Bedros is our one-on-one mentor. We've talked about this frequently. When I'm in a coaching program and Bedros gives me advice on my character or my action steps or my strategy or my tactics, whatever, I take that advice and I'm like, okay, even if it isn't necessarily what I want to do, or even if it's uncomfortable, I'm going to do that because I want to get the same results that Bedros has. So I'm going to follow the pathway that laid out for me.
Agreed.
Follow the fucking blueprint. Success leaves clues. Like the people that are successful are leaving breadcrumbs. If you're listening, this fucking podcast, we're literally telling you exactly how to be successful, exactly how to get to $10,000 a month, exactly how to make money. And there's some of you very smart people, by the way, that DM me on a daily basis that are like, your podcast is changing my life. I've already implemented so much free stuff. Holy fuck, thank you so much. And there's a lot of you, there's a lot more of you that are listening to my podcast because there's 5,000 to 10,000 downloads per episode. There's a lot of you that are listening and not doing shit because you're listening to your fucking sister who thinks that you should stick at your hair salon job.
Yeah, and it blows my fucking mind. Dude, we can't even like break down how many individuals told Brian and myself that we shouldn't be taking the path that we were on in the past. All right, I'm going to call one person Voldemort right now. Brian knows who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say his name. It was actually funny. We actually realized that he was apparently talking shit about us recently behind our back, which is a pretty regular thing. All right. Even if we were connected to you in the past.
Dude, that's a regular thing in general. It's like, this is what happens. I got a little bit to say about this. Okay. Here's what happens. Okay. So we kind of let you into the circle, right? Me and Cole kind of trust you a little bit. So we'll let you into the circle. And then you display character
Then we
traits.
smell it.
No, then you display character traits of a fucking loser. So we cut you out of the circle, right? And when we say cut you out, I'm not like, go fuck yourself.
No,
but we just stop calling, stop texting back
phase.
because I'm not interested in associating myself with somebody that has lack of integrity, lack of responsibility, lack of respect for like our relationship, lack of loyalty. I'm just going to slowly phase you out, right? And then when we slowly phase them out, they're like, fuck those guys, man. Those guys are fucking just their Lambos and they're fucking. Anyways, go ahead.
I used to do this for them. I'm the one who taught them.
I'm the one that brought them up.
It was funny. We
Okay.
actually, we heard some shit the other day. It was very funny. But so bringing this individual back into the conversation for a minute. So this person was actually one of the first people that I was connected to while we were elevating, that stopped elevating and then tried to hold me back while we were growing.
I want to pause on that. Go ahead. I'm just going to remember that.
Yeah. So like as we were fucking elevating, he saw the growth, saw everything that was happening. And then he paused because he hit his ceiling. And then he tried to tell me that I would never be successful. I'd never make more than $50,000 in a year. I'd never be able to do that. But if you work for me, I'll be able to help you get to the next fucking level. And he tried to hold me back. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up for you guys is because I know that there's one Voldemort in your life right fucking now who shall not be named that you need to stop fucking listening to, stop hanging out with, and stop taking advice from, because the advice that they are currently giving you is why you hate your life right now. The advice that they are giving you is why when you look at your bank account, you cringe and you feel overwhelmed. The advice that they are giving you is why every time you look in the fucking mirror, you hate what you fucking see. So cut out the advice, go listen to your conscience. All right. Yo, I don't like how I look. I don't like what's in my bank account. I don't like where I live. And then ask yourself, who do I need to start listening to elevate and change this situation? That is the question that should be running through your mind.
Just going to say this. Okay. If your friends don't support your success and they don't want you to win and chase your goals and pursue your dreams, they're not your fucking friends. Okay. I think that's where the fake friends came from.
Yeah.
Okay. So listen, okay. I got two things to say. Number one is, like Cole said, right? When you start pursuing your own greatness and you start pushing your potential and you start elevating your situation, you're going to get to a certain level. The people around you are going to start to realize that you're elevating beyond them.
Yep.
And then, like Cole said, what they're going to do is they're going to reach on and they're going to grasp. They're like, oh, no. Hey, I don't fucking like that. Okay. This is now making me uncomfortable. You used to be the guy that would come out with me. You used to be the guy that would smoke weed with me. You're different, man. You changed, man. Yeah, motherfucker. I've changed. I don't want to be like you, sitting in your mom's fucking basement playing video games every night. I don't want to be like you, going out to the bar, getting fucked up and talking to girls that I'll never remember. I don't want to be like you, motherfucker. I don't want to be broke like you, worrying about money every single fucking week. Yes, I've changed. Yes, I'm different. Right? And this is why we have to be so fucking careful, because here's what you guys do, right? Like, you start to elevate your situation and then your friends start saying you've changed, man. You're so fucking different. You're like, you used to be so much cooler and now and then you start questioning yourself. You start questioning yourself and your own abilities, your own morals. You're like, am I being rude? Am I being a dickhead because I'm focusing on my own goals? Am I being selfish? Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm selfish. And then you go back to doing the same shit because you feel fucking guilty that you quote unquote changed, and you ruin momentum in your own life. Guys, this is a fucking really hard concept to understand. All right. There's a lot of people that don't want to see you win. And that's just a fact. It's a hard concept to understand, but it's also a fact. There's a lot of people in your life that don't want to see you win, because every time you win, it's a reflection of everything that they're not doing. And that's why people will be close to me and Cole. And then we continue to elevate, because, by the way, Cole and I are going to be, you guys think we're rich now. We're going to be rich as fuck.
We are
okay. Private jets, right, massive supercars, mansions in multiple countries. Fucking watch. I promise you. And so people that are around us see this elevation. They see us, this growth. They're like, at first they're like, I can be in the circle. I can run with these boys. I'm all fucking good. And then we just go. We just fucking pass. We just fucking elevate, and people can't keep up and they get fucking upset.
Because people hate on what they gave up on.
Yes, I love that. I love that. People hate on what they gave up on. But here's the thing. If you actually fucking listen, we're telling you everything that you need to elevate your own situation. And there are people that are in our life that have done that exact same thing. My wife, Kirsten Mark, has almost 1 million followers on all platforms now. Right? This is somebody that came into my life, came into my network. She's literally around me all the time. She has 1,400 fucking clients. Janelle Wheel, same thing. She listens to everything we fucking say. She's at 6,000 clients, making $300,000 a month. Dawn Lamb, same thing, making $500,000 a month. The people that actually fucking implement are the ones that get crazy results. But there's so many people that hang out and then they get egos. I know what I'm fucking doing now. I don't need to listen to these guys anymore. I'm fucking good. I learned the fundamentals. I know everything these guys have to teach. No, you fucking don't. Or you'd have the fucking result. Open your fucking ears and close your mouth and start listening and absorbing.
Yes.
That's the thing, is like, even when it sucks, you guys, like, even when the advice that somebody gives you is it hurts your feelings or it's fucking hard. You just need to take it. You need to absorb it. You need to fucking like, and then do something and then take fucking action.
100%. So I always say this shit, right? You can learn from anybody at any level. I feel like that is a very true statement. It's something I've embodied from all areas of life. You can learn from anybody at any level. And if you stop learning, you're going to start dying. Life is going to go downhill very quickly. But you should only take actionable advice from individuals that are above your station that you would like to be like, that you aspire to be like, in my opinion. All right. In Brian's opinion. Let's stop listening to the people who have no idea about the life that you want to fucking live. Step into your power, cut out the motherfucking noise, and focus on you. Because again, I'm going to revert back to it. People hate on what they give up on. A big reason why a lot of your friends are trying to talk you out of chasing that goal is because they gave up on that goal. All right. Those friends that you had in high school that are still your friends now, 15, 10, 20 years later, the reason why that they are hating on your aspirations and goals is because they gave up on that shit. They already settled into their fucking bullshit 9-to-5 job that they feel like they can never escape. So when they start to see you break through the ceiling that they set for themselves, they're like, holy fuck, what the hell is going on? This isn't okay. So they are hating on it because they gave up on it. They don't want you to elevate past that level, because if you did it, then their story of why they couldn't becomes bullshit, because you came from the same place as them. And I know because I've been there. I know because I've experienced it from my family, from my friends, and yes, I'm using quotations, from the acquaintances around me. I've broken through every fucking ceiling that myself and my old homies ever set for ourselves. So now, whenever they bitch or complain or whine about their situation, I'm like, homie, I paved the way. What do you mean? We came from the same fucking place. I slept on your couch because you had the money in the past. It's the excuse. Watch who you fucking listen to. Advice could send you down a very dark path that it is extremely hard to get out of. So stop taking it from people who do not understand the life you want to fucking live, that do not actually want to put the work in to achieve the results that you've always fucking wanted.
Although advice can be the dark path that takes you down a path that you don't want to go down, advice can also be the thing that elevates your life to a place that you can't even begin to imagine.
Agreed.
Advice can be the thing that helps you shatter all your limiting beliefs about what you believe is actually possible for your own life, so that you step into your fucking power and you become the person you were supposed to become. As long as you're taking advice from somebody that's actually walked the path, right? Like, this is the truth, right? Like, if you want to be successful in life, you truly do need to believe in yourself, and you need to believe that it's possible for you to succeed. And so that is the core message, is like, if you believe in yourself, you will succeed. Okay. So that's like the core message. And so if you're talking to people that are, not at the level of self-belief that they should be, and so they're like, Cole, that's not really good that you're online coaching, because that's not a career path. No self-belief for themselves, versus talking to somebody that is an online coach that's making 10 to 20K a month, or maybe is a business mentor that has hundreds of online coaches in their program. And that person's like, hey, I see you and I believe that you could do it. Which one is going to encourage more self-belief?
Yep.
It's the person that fucking has been there. It's the person that has the social proof. It's the person that has the experience. And so advice can be the very thing that lights the fire in you and gets you going and makes you realize that you have what it takes to be successful, which is why it's so fucking important to only take it from people that are at a higher level than you. When Cole and I are seeking out mentors, we're seeking out mentors that are at the life situation that we want to be at. That's why Cole hired Wes, because Cole fucks with Wes. Cole fucks with his message. He fucks with his vibe. He fucks with his energy, and he fucks with his mentality. And obviously his results. Homie's buying a new supercar every week in cash and posting it on Instagram.
I'm making $2 million a month, lives in a fucking, 17,000 square foot house and 9-acre land in San Diego.
So that's somebody that we're going to take advice from.
Yep, exactly.
When that guy gives us advice, we're like, fucking sounds good.
Yep. That's why we hired fucking Bedros. It's why we hired fucking Dan Martell.
Yeah. So guys, advice can be the thing that lights the path. And so I'm going to give you one invitation, and that's to find a mentor. Like, you need to find somebody to work underneath, and whatever that looks like for you. If you're fucking flat broke and you can't afford a mentor right now, go make extra money and then spend that extra money and invest in yourself.
I'm going to touch on that for a minute though, because Bedros talks about this. All right. When Bedros was doing personal training, when he first started his fucking business, I don't remember the name of his mentor, but you guys can figure it out on his podcast. He didn't have money at the time because he was working as an in-person trainer at a gym, but one of his clients that he was training turned out to be a fucking business mogul. So what did he do? He trained him for fucking free and he served the shit out of him. And that guy started giving him advice because he didn't have money at the time. So he started giving the only thing that he could, his time. so he could get the advice from an individual that had an elevated situation. And then eventually it led to the life that he fucking has today. So like, if you don't have money, you could still figure out how to get mentorship. All right. Give your time away. All right. Give something away. Give to the individuals that are above you so they will lift you up.
I love that. I'm actually going to fucking drop something on this podcast that I didn't know I was going to drop, but I'm going to tell.
Wait, what?
I'm going to tell these motherfuckers about my fucking thing.
What's it?
In September.
Oh, yeah, do it.
Okay. So speaking of giving it away for free. So Cole's talking about giving time away, right?
Yeah.
And so recently I went down to Utah. And the reason I went to Utah is I was invited to come speak at a conference called FitCon. Now, FitCon is owned by this guy called The Dot Muscle. And The Dot Muscle is a fucking gangster. His name's Keaton Hoskins. This guy owns FitCon. He also has 6 or 7 other businesses. One of them is Limitless Society. And FitCon is a conference that has like 50,000 people. So they invited me to come speak. I'm like, absolutely, I'm there. I'll see you there. Flew from Australia. I didn't even go back home. I went straight to Utah. And I told Kirsten, I'm like, the reason we're going is this is just a big opportunity and I don't want to miss out. So went there and met Keaton and we were at FitCon. And when we were at the event, he's like, you should come to my house after. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I went to this fucking house on the side of a mountain that has 4 helicopters. I'm driving up the hill. And when I get in the house, I realized that I'm one of 12 people in his house. And I looked at Kirsten, I'm like, he literally invited me and you, and there's 12 other people out of 50,000 people to his house. I'm like, This is fucking cool. So at the dinner, he's like, you guys should come by tomorrow. We're like, okay, sounds good. I figure out that Keaton Hoskins is actually hosting an event with Gary Vaynerchuk, Andy Frisella, Tim Grover, Ed Milet, Logan Paul, and some other rock stars. Like, this is like, we're talking about like a mega event. Like, think about all the people that host individual events that are fucking crazy. Keaton brought all of them together underneath one roof in September. So I find out about this, and Keaton, I go up to him on Saturday when I got to his house. I'm like, hey, I was like, I want to help out with your event. I'm going to buy a ticket. I'm like, I want to help out. So I will literally be your fucking water boy if you need it. And also, I want to let you know I'm a great MC. I'm like, I host events all the time. I've hosted 5 events. I just got back from one in Australia. There was 1,000 people live and virtually. So I would love to help you out. And I would love to MC. And he was like, maybe I will get you an MC. So I took that. I was like, oh, okay. The next day I text him. I'm like, hey man, just letting you know again, I really want to help out with your event. And like, I'll be your fucking water boy, but I'll also be an MC. 2 days later, he's like, can you get on a call? I'm like, yep. He calls me. He's like, I'm going to get you to MC the fucking event. I was like, holy fuck. Gary Vaynerchuk, Andy Frisella, Tim Grover, Ed Milet. I'm MCing the fucking event where all of these fucking gangsters, I'm literally going to be interviewing Logan Paul on stage. And the reason that I'm telling you this is because even though I'm like, I understand where the level's at. Yes. This guy's fucking 10 steps ahead of me.
Yes.
So for me, I'm like, I'm going to give my time
yes.
to this individual. I'm like, I will pay for my own flights, pay for my own hotel. I would never fucking ask for money. That's the stupidest thing ever. And I'm just going to give my time to somebody that's at a higher level so that I can elevate my situation by being in his presence.
Yep.
And that's the idea. It's like, you need to surround yourself and you need to find ways to be around people that are at a higher level. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking about like how to get around those people, go to fucking events, dude.
Yeah. Fucking recognize the opportunity at hand. Fucking go somewhere to be around them.
I love the idea of recognize the opportunity. I'm going to add a step to that. I'm going to say seize the opportunity.
Yeah. Well,
because so many people recognize it. They're like, oh, that would be a really cool opportunity. And then they fucking jerk off and they don't do anything.
Because like, guys, again, I say this all the time. I see us, and I don't think Brian's going to agree with this, but you might at the same time. I still see us as peasants in the business industry. In the aspect of like, we've done a lot. All right. We've done a shitload and I'm grateful and I'm very proud of us. But at the end of the day, like the individuals that we look up to, what we've done is like a speck on the fucking map. Straight up. It's just facts. All right. I call a spade a spade. The reason why is because, like, let's be real, be giving to this fucking opportunity. Money would not have got that spot. But the fucking way that you showed up and just was like, I'm here to give and I want to fucking help and I want to serve, that got the spot, because that goes a lot further than just fucking cash. All right. Seizing an opportunity and fucking recognizing an opportunity. Let's talk about Sebastian for a minute.
Yep.
I was like, Sebastian Oreb, if you guys don't know who that is, the Australian fitness coach, which by the way, fucking hired me and Brian to one-on-one fucking business shit. Hell yeah.
What's up?
I fucking love it. He talked about this at fucking Clean Health Live. And he was like, I got the opportunity to be Thor. All right, Thor Bjornsson, fucking the mountains strength coach. He's like, and I trained him for free for 2 years, flew all around the country. He's like, on my own dime, got all my own flights, all my own food, all my own accommodations. I trained him for free, didn't charge him a fucking dime, because he's like, I knew the exposure I would get would be fucking worth it. You guys need to recognize the opportunity and fucking seize it. If Brian didn't take that step, he wouldn't be fucking emceeing the biggest fucking event ever. Because, he's downplaying it to a certain degree. He's only recognizing like 5 of the names. If we had a list in front of you guys, it would blow your fucking mind. The list is like fucking 20 names deep. It's fucking disgusting. It's literally mental. Not to mention, he's now going to be able to get on a stage with his fucking biggest inspiration, Gary Vee, and host it / introduce him when you've got what in your office right now?
I literally have a photo in my office that says, I will be bigger than Gary Vaynerchuk, and it's mine and his faces.
Yeah. So there we go. That's called recognizing and seizing a fucking opportunity right there. That's called getting in a room with individuals that you actually admire, actually respect, actually want to fucking listen to, and listening to their fucking opinions so you can elevate your situation.
And I want to say one more thing because I feel like we fucking nailed the point home on the podcast and we're going to wrap it up. I want to say one more thing. If you're listening to this, man, I have so many fucking people, bro, that will tell me, they'll be like, man, I can't believe how far you've come. I can't believe how far you've come, like from, 7 years ago. I can't believe how far you've come. I'm like, I'm literally telling you the pathway. What do you mean you can't believe it? Fucking walk your own path. That actually makes me sad to think about when people are like, oh, I can't believe how far you've come. Motherfucker, you could literally go as far as me. That's why I'm so loud on social media.
I can't believe you're still in the same fucking place you've been for the last 7.5 years when everything that I've done is on the internet for you to follow. That's what I say. You can't believe how far I've come. Everything I've fucking done is painted in black and white ink on the fucking internet right now. All you got to start doing is listening.
But this is what they do, right? They'll listen to one of your videos and they'll get super triggered and like, oh, that guy's a fucking asshole.
Dude,
it's because it's the truth.
It's literally all right there.
Look
at like every real successful person. Like, and if you really think about it, like take a step back and just look at what they're doing. You're like, oh, it's all right there.
Dude, let's talk about this. Alex Hormozi. Guys, if like Alex Hormozi on social media, the amount of value that man puts out by himself on his own, like
disgusting.
That's what I'm saying,
Bro.
though. It's like, and he talked about this on his podcast. He was like, I listened to Alex Hormozi for like 8 hours straight on my drive.
Yeah.
He was like, I literally give people like fucking everything online. Literally everything. He's like, there's nothing's held back at all, ever. He's like, everybody could fucking do it. He's like, nobody will.
Yeah.
He's like, that's why I do it. Nobody fucking will. He's like, and that should trigger you. If you're listening, you probably fucking won't.
Yes.
You won't. You won't. You won't. You want to, but you won't.
Yeah.
And that might hurt your feelings, and it should, because you fucking won't. Otherwise, you would have already done it.
Yep.
And if you want that to be your reality, then just tune off this podcast, turn on some fucking Netflix, or go back to whatever the fuck you were doing. Keep enjoying your drive to work at your 9 to 5. And then remember that Brian Mark said that you won't.
I hope that hurt. I hope you got inspired. I hope you got value. If you did, share this podcast, subscribe, and follow myself at Cole Lewis to Silva Wake Up with the Wolf podcast and
Change Lives, Make Money on the Trainer podcast. Peace, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.